and share some of my studies and really powerful material, just a little bit here. And shout out to all my subscribers and those that just pass by as well to tune in a couple things that I share. I hope it's helping. This is really profound stuff that I'm sharing, and I hope it's motivating or inspiring you in some type of way. And yeah, just grateful to be here and share some knowledge. So I want to start with this beautiful story, and I named this, titled this, "What are you creating in your life?" And this story really puts things into perspective. Okay, so it's like the story of a preacher who was driving by a beautiful farm. The fields were cultivated and abundant with well cared for crops. The fences, house, and barns were clean, neat, and freshly painted. A row of fine trees led from the road to the house where there were shaded lawns and flower beds, right? So, painting this picture here. So, it was a beautiful sight to behold. So, when the farmer working in the field got to the end of a row near the road, the preacher halted him and said, "God has blessed you with a beautiful farm." And the farmer stopped and thought a moment and replied, "Yes, he has, and I'm grateful. But you should have seen it when he had it to all to himself." Yeah, but you should have seen it when he had it all to himself. You see, the farmer understood that he had been blessed with a fine farm, but he was also aware that it was his own love and labor which had brought it to its present state. Such a great story. That reminds me of when, I do our yard. We got some nice land. I fertilize it, I water it, I cut it, and this year I'm aerating the soil as well. Actually, I think I have to do that next month. So the point is, what are you creating with your land of your life? You're given this so-called farm, and a lot of us we just look at it and hope it'll grow or hope it'll be one day what we want it to be. And key word is hope, right? Hope is it's basically kind of doubt. It's like slight doubt. Oh, I hope this will happen, or I wish this will happen. I wish one day, right? In this story, the farmer wasn't wishing, he was being. And when you're being, you're doing. So this was really deep story. I see a couple of y'all here live. If you missed it, just watch the replay because this story is profound. So listen to this. Each of us is given a plot to work, a lifetime, and the work we have chosen. So listen to that. Each of us is given a plot to work. So a plot is like it's basically a piece of land, right? So you have a plot in your life and this whatever lifetime that you have. And it even goes here and the work we have chosen. So we have work that we've chosen to do. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you, Roxanne. Thank you. So we have a plot to basically, it's our life. What are we creating with our life and the industry that we chosen, the work we have chosen, right? And you know what's crazy? Not all of us choose our work, right? I had fallen into random jobs throughout my life and I wasn't choosing them. I was just doing them for money. I wasn't fulfilled a lot for decades, just getting by and doing what others told me to do because, hey, you get paid here. Well, okay, sure. And then the environment is unfulfilling and surrounded by negative people and people that gave up on themselves. It was just interesting. So, this is important. What are you choosing for your life? Right? What will make you happy? What do you want? Right? So, I'll continue here. The miracle is there if only we're wise enough to see it and to realize that our fulfillment as persons depends upon our reaction to what we've been given. Jeez, that's huge. So understand that we all been given something, right? Understand that part. And now let this kind of open you up to what do you do with what you've been given? You've been given a mind, right? You've been given feelings. You've been given a vision. And this is why we desire things in life. We want things because it's for spirit to work to and through us to experience a higher self, actually, not just to get things. To get things is fun. That's the effect, right? And I talked on another live that there's intangible and tangible rewards. So intangible is basically how you feel or how you impacted others or fulfillment or joy. Um, intangible, right? And then there's tangible. Obviously, you see me in my foyer in my home. That's a tangible reward from a lot of a lot of service. So anyway, in thinking of ways of increasing your service, read books on your specialty. Read what others have found to work well for them. So whatever industry that you're in, it's good to understand it at a professional level, right? And increasing your service will always increase your rewards. So, but at the same time, think of original and creative ways of increasing your service, ways that are unique with you and the way you are. So, you're very unique. There's no one made like you, and you can do things others can't do. You can do things I can't do, and vice versa, right? Because it's a special way that you deliver. But it's important that you understand to find ways to increase your service, right? So there's something called the essence of success. I highly recommend you look that up, Earl Nightingale. So going at it strong for a week, this is good, or a month, and then falling back into old habits is just like working a week or a month on that plot of ground and then abandoning it. Before long, it will be no better than before. So this is like you trying a new habit. Well, basically every walking human being that does New Year's resolutions and just stops, right? Just stops. Um, it's because your limiting self is more powerful than your vision. So how can I increase my service today? Right? Each morning and during the day, ask yourself, how can I increase my service? So, and there are two ways that change alter a paradigm. Now, a paradigm is a multitude of habits that's fixed in your subconscious mind that causes you to do things without any conscious thought. So it's basically your limiting self that's holding you back every day. So there's only two ways to change that. It's emotional impact, which is typically negative, and then there's something called constant space repetition. So that's of new ideas over and over again, basically combined with the help of an experienced mentor. That's why I'm here. I'm here to help you achieve whatever it is that you want. And it's very challenging, if not, um, im- I wouldn't say impossible, but it's extremely challenging to do this on your own, especially when you have big goals, right? So the ideas will be yours and the results will tell the truth. Although you will find your mind wandering when you're listening, the repetition of the ideas going into your subconscious mind over a prolonged period of time on a regular basis will eventually form part of your habitual way of thinking. So what they're talking about here, mm, the power of repetition of this type of study, right? My clients and I, we meet every week and study every day the same stuff. And what happens, it awakens something inside you that's been there an entire lifetime. So, and it's very powerful. So, if you're worried about your income or your future, you're concentrating on the wrong end of the scale. Look at the other end. Concern yourself only with increasing your service, only, right? With becoming great where you are, and your income and your future will take care of themselves. So, this is kind of a concept that is challenging for people. Money is an effect. Rewards are an effect. You are the cause. And the cause that you're providing is the service. How are you helping other people? How are you helping other people? So pile in the wood first, and the heat will come as a result. This is so good. Like I shared earlier, right? You can't expect more heat from a fireplace unless you're putting more wood, right? You, you can't expect more heat unless you're putting in more wood. And what is wood? What is the service, your value, what you're giving, right? What you're providing, right? And I love sharing this here because there's something called present results control thinking, an infinite source of supply. So I'm gonna share this here on camera. Just look at that, screenshot that, because hopefully it's not backwards, right? But I'll explain that a little bit. Present results control thinking. So basically, your present income, what you see in your bank account, what you see where you live, your neighborhood, your job, the car you drive, your relationship, with your partner, whatever, all of it is a result, right? You can allow that to control what you think and what you feel. And most people operate on that because they're subservient to their five senses. So they're letting their outside world control what's going on inside, right? So really think about that. And then there's infinite source of supply. Now, these are people that have shifted their thinking, knowing that anything is possible. Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. So conceive, what is that? You're giving birth to a new idea. You're seeing something different than where you are. You're seeing that dream, that goal, that car you want to buy, that house you want to buy, that experience you want to have, the clients you want to help, the business you want to run, the book you want to write. Whatever it is, that goal is that you want, that dream, you're conceiving that idea, right? So it's coming from an infinite source of supply. Thoughts are energy. It's infinite. There's no supply limited, right? So what happens, that new idea for greater service is in your conscious mind. And guess what? As you're painting that vision, you're getting emotionally involved with it. You're seeing that vision. You're feeling that vision. You're grateful for that vision in advance, knowing that you have unlimited potential. So this is infinite source of supply, right? And you're rewarded with increased income. Guess what? As you're providing service, your income is increasing. It's it's a law of cause and effect, right? And you can't separate it. Like you can understand it, but you'll always be a part of it. Always. So, however, when you turn it into a habit, the universe will habitually reward you. See, focusing on increasing your service when your income is low, this is huge. Let's say you don't have enough money right now, right? Who cares? Who cares? Past thinking has created your present results. Underline that. So now it's time to think in a better way. You didn't just attract me or this video on accident. It's because you're seeking more. So listen to this. Focusing on increasing your service when your income is low may be one of the most difficult tasks you will ever perform. However, when you turn it into a habit, the universe will habitually reward you. Focus on increasing your service. I love it. So next time you're off by yourself in a quiet place, contemplate your plot of ground, which is your life, right? Contemplate the life that you've been given, where you are right now, and begin to sow the seeds which will yield you a rich and abundant harvest. And what are the seeds? The seeds are the service you're providing, the impact you're having, right? This works in any business. Doesn't matter what you do or what you want to do, right? It works in any industry. So excitements, ideas, and efforts in a word are what carry us over the dam. See? And as you start focusing on where you're going, what you're creating, obviously you'll be at a different vibrational state. That's excitement, right? And ideas come to you. You find new ways to improve your business or to impact more service, right? So he says, all right, let your goal represent the excitement, right? your ideas and efforts will weigh down the service. So, effort, right? A lot of people think, oh, I got to work really hard to succeed. No, it's effortless when you're in alignment. It's called inspired action. And there's a word called praxis. It's called the integration of belief with behavior. So you're integrating the belief, knowing that this thing that you want is on its way or it's already here. And the body expresses itself naturally. Kind of like when I say something funny, I'll smile because you naturally want to express something because you're thinking something and you're feeling something. So there's no effort unless it's unaligned. That's when you're out of harmony, right? So, and the rewards must and will follow. Let your goal represent the excitement. Your ideas and efforts will weigh down the service end of the scale, right? And the rewards must and will follow. They'll be yours. They are yours the moment you realize this truth. I'm sharing some golden stuff here. This is so good. And I'll close here with some natural laws of the universe. Okay. A lot of people love universal laws. Some people heard of them and they don't understand them, but we're part of them, and it's so interesting how we take them for granted. So I'll just give a little rundown of these. And if you are really curious about universal laws, I host Coach's Corner with my colleagues, my amazing colleagues, and we're going in depth in that of all the universal laws. So go, maybe I'll link that in here or drop a comment. Let me know if you're interested in watching that, because we went really deep into what they mean and how they're part of your life and how you can utilize them to receive whatever it is that you want, right? So these are just a few of them. These are natural laws of the universe, also known as universal laws, right? So the law of perpetual transmutation. Let me get some tea right quick. Well, thank you, Corey. I appreciate that. So the laws of perpetual transmutation. Okay. What this law is, energy moves into physical form. This law right here is everything, right? The images you hold in your mind most often materialize in results in your life. That's the law of perpetual transmutation. The law of relativity. Nothing is good or bad, big or small, until you relate it to something. Practice relating your situation to something much worse, and yours will always look good. That is the law of relativity. The law of vibration. Everything vibrates, nothing rests. Conscious awareness of vibration is called feelings. So when you say, oh, I feel this or I feel that, you're aware of your vibrational state. Your thoughts control your paradigms and your vibration. Mm. So when you're not feeling good, become aware of what you are thinking. Then think of something pleasant. I'm working with a client where I'm helping her shift her vibration. She's understanding the relationship of thoughts to feelings. So I'm so grateful to see her grow with this. The law of polarity. Everything has an opposite: hot, cold, up, down, good, bad, constantly looking for the good in people and situations. Listen to that. Constantly look for the good in people and situations. When you find it, tell the person. People love compliments, and the positive idea in your mind makes you feel good. Remember, good idea, good vibration. All right. And the law of rhythm. The tide goes out, night follows day, good times and bad times. When you are on a downswing, do not feel bad. Know the swing will change and things will get better. There are good times coming. Think of them. Massive. And the law of cause and effect. And I talked a lot about this law. Whatever you send into the universe comes back. Action, reaction are equal and opposite. Say good things to everyone. Treat everyone with total respect, and it will all come back. All. Never worry about what you are going to get. Just concentrate on what you can give. This is massive. This is massive. Hey, Leon, thanks for joining me. This is my studies, and I'm breaking down universal laws. Um, just a little summary. And the law of gender. Every seed has a gestation period or incubation period, right? Ideas are spiritual seeds and will move into form or physical results. So that's the law of gender, right? Your goals will manifest when the time is right. No, they will. Hmm. So that's just a little breakdown of, you know, the power of service in relationship to rewards and also your plot of land in life, right? You have an industry or whatever work that you've chosen in your life. If you haven't chose it, you need to reevaluate because you know what? My mentor, Bob Proctor, mentioned a lot is we're not made to work. Work's made for us. You know how long I thought I was made to work? If you're not doing something that you love, that's a big sign for you to make some shifts in your life. You have to find what you really want. And when you do what you love, it's effortless. It's never work. So I know it was a lot. I was supposed to talk only 10 minutes and I'm at 22 minutes. So I really hope this helped you. And if you want to go deeper in what I'm sharing here and see if I can help you in some way, um, I'll put my call link in the comments. Schedule a call with me. Only if you're serious about making some shifts because life is so short. I just shared, we're given a plot of land, right? And what is the vision we have for that plot? What do we want to plant there? What are these spiritual seeds and these ideas that we want to put there? What do we want to create? And we'll come up with all the excuses in the world why we can't do certain things. It's crazy. We're the only problem and the only solution. But this is why, mentorship is vital. It's difficult and challenging to do it on your own. But that's why I'm here. So, let's see. Thank you so much for joining me. I can't see that. It's so small on the phone. Pilot guy. You mentioned that's quite easy to say for a middle class man. So I grew up in a lower income family, pretty much, you know, low income. We had to put stuff on layaway. You know, I had, I remember seeing roaches in our cereal. I would wear the same shoes every year, see all my friends get shoes at school. I remember having reduced lunch. I had to get the milk that was expired. Thank you so much for mentioning that pilot guy, 7074. This version of me has grown from a past version because I had to see a vision and I had to face a lot of fear and I had to reevaluate my beliefs. And you said, now imagine being poor and working a slave job just to come by. Yeah, I was I was poor. What's one thing? I remember uh, I was working so many different jobs. I had like 3 jobs at one point, and I was going to school. And I'll share this story. My mom came to visit me at school, and she couldn't believe how much weight I lost. I was malnourished and I wasn't sleeping, all because I had to work really hard. right? So thinking about that, I don't have to imagine being poor. I was, but I had to change my mindset. And I didn't know that at the time. I just thought about working hard all the time. And I thought working hard was the answer. I really did. I worked harder than anyone I ever knew. But now I know the power of having a direction in life and a vision and choosing faith. And, it helped me so much is not letting the outside world shape my inside world. Even that comment, tells me that you're allowing your current circumstances to dictate where you are. It's so easy, right? To let our environment and everything where we are shape our thinking and our feeling. And it's interesting you use the word slave job just to come by. We're actually a slave to limiting thinking, a slave to our lower self, a slave to our five senses, what we see, hear, smell, taste, touch. Most people are conditioned that way since birth until they die. So thank you so much for that comment, and for those that join me live. And the question is, how long are you going to remain where you are and who you are? And actually, this is not who you are. And you know that and you feel that on a deep level. Wow, I didn't mean to go so long on this. So, anyway, I got to get out of here. I'll post this. Always feel free to schedule a call. If I could be of any help, if I can help you with this type of material. And this is just a small part of it. It really is. Much love, much success, many blessings, everybody.